Thank you, Dumi. Now, CapeBPO and Future Ed is an organization which strives to help empower our youth and combat unemployment through educating training in, of course, the core sector industries of our country. Now, joining us is Clayton Williams, the CEO Designate of CapeBPO, and, of course, Jehad Kasu, the Director of Governance of Future Ed. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, Vanessa.
Now, I'm very intrigued when it comes to these organizations that both you gentlemen quite successfully run. But if I were to just start off with you, Jehad, if I were to break down what exactly is Future Ed and, of course, the CapeBPO?
Future Ed is a community-based skills development and training provider based in Athlone, Cape Town. And what we serve to do is to try and bridge the gap between school leavers or the unemployed with the necessary skills for them to be a bit more employable. And CapeBPO, I'm sure Clayton will be far more informed to tell you a bit about them.
So we're an MPO, and we're the strategic business partner of City of Cape Town and the Western Cape government, focusing on the development and growth of the BPO sector in the Western Cape.
Now, Clayton, diving more specifically within the CapeBPO, what are the two main functions that you guys run as an organization?
Sure. So our primary mandate is to create jobs. That's what we held accountable from a funder perspective. But in terms of our two key functions, one is the promotion of the Western Cape as an offshore destination in source markets like the UK, Australia and the US. And the other arm of our business is the skills development aspect, where we design, deploy and partner with industry to create skills development interventions and deploy them into our sector.
Very necessary, especially right now, as South Africa is going through a bit of a shake-up when it comes to not only employment, but the economy as a whole. So then, Jehad, when you were to look at the youth, what exactly do these organizations offer them?
Well, if we look at the devastation caused by the coronavirus now, there's been massive loss of jobs across various sectors. And as a skills provider and a trainer, we try to look at the industry that would be able to plug that gap very quickly. And through our research, we found that the call center or the BPO sector is that industry, it's the biggest job creator. And right now, there's far more job opportunities than people ready to take up those opportunities. So we provide an accelerated work readiness program where we equip them with soft skills such as confidence, business conversational skills, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and how to draft a CV, how to conduct yourself in an interview, so that it gives you that one step up to make use of an employment opportunity when it comes your way.
It seems as though you gentlemen have taken everything that we learned in high school when it comes to life orientation, but you're stepping it up a notch, especially within the call center space. So then, Clayton, if we were to look at just the longevity of it, how long have these programs been running?
So this one in particular is since kind of September last year. And it was conceptualized over a cup of coffee when we looked at one of the sector challenges that we were facing from a BPO perspective, which was concentration of the BPO operators in historic traditional BPO space, your Cape Town CBD, Claremont, Century City, and the fact that we were simply running out of space on our current growth trajectory. And that's where we started speaking to Future Ed around decentralized community-based models, because the operator community was really responding to that notion. And we came up in the space of probably a half an hour of a coffee chat, this concept of a day of 1,000 opportunities, where on our behalf, Future Ed would reach out to the community of Athlone, and we would bring, from an operator perspective, the demand, the jobs. And this culminated in an event which was organized in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, where we had 6 or 7 of our major operators all recruiting the staff that Jehad and his team had trained in the same venue. So quite a watershed moment for us.
Absolutely, and it seems like you really are making a difference within these vulnerable communities. But if we were to continue just talking about these opportunities that you keep bringing up, what are some of the career opportunities that are up for grabs, and how does this then change the youth's life?
It's a very good question. So as Jehad alluded to, the BPO sector is experiencing phenomenal growth. And if I look at what makes it attractive, it's low barrier to entry. So a basic matric with the ability to converse with an individual as a primary prerequisite. And in terms of job opportunities, we've got thousands of examples of agents transitioning into other careers within the BPO sector, so team leaders, trainers, ops managers, and we've got individuals that have been in the sector for kind of 5 years that are now running 1,000-seat operations. So many case studies to evidence the growth prospects within the BPO sector.
And to add on to that, there's a misconception that the BPO sector is only the call center industry, but BPO stands for Business Process Outsourcing, which is much more than just call center agents operating telephones. With the growth of social media platforms and how businesses engage with their consumers through social media, we have social media monitoring services that are being provided and conducted through our call centers as well. So they have to make sure that the content sensitivity gets screened before it's posted. So we've got a lot of operators that are providing those kinds of services that isn't a telephone call center job, but it is a business process outsourcing job. So these are some of the examples of specific jobs that is available within the industry.
Absolutely, and it seems like this is a perfect opportunity as well for you to get stuck into the global industries as well, the global market. Those companies that do need the help when it comes to growth, coming down to South Africa and all outsourcing that talent and those brains down here. So then on that note, how then can everyone get involved?
Well, they can go to our Instagram page, which is Future Ed Cape Town. They can also send their CVs if they are looking for opportunities within the call center or the BPO industry to bpo@future-ed.co.za, and we've got an admin team that will get back to them quickly.
It sounds incredible. I mean, Clayton, from yourself, what are some of the hopes that you want to go into 2021 and some of the real change you want to see happen?
So I think continued growth. We're seeing massive expansion typically in the UK market, but we haven't quite broken into the US market. So our entrenchment of our value proposition in the US market, and with that comes, like I said, exponential growth. So improving on our existing run rate and hopefully doubling the size of the sector within the next 5 years.
Sounds brilliant, gentlemen. Thank you so much for touching base on Afternoon Express, truly giving us that motivation that we need this Monday. Now, combating unemployment and empowering our youth are causes that we at Afternoon Express are very passionate about. Now, we look forward to the work that CapeBPO and Future Ed as they progress through the provinces, and hopefully by the end of 2021, all 9 provinces will be benefiting from their amazing work. Now, on social media, we are posing this question. Sometimes we have to try and do the absolute best through very tough circumstances and situations. So if you had to go for it, drop it all and start your very own business, what would you do? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. But coming up, we're heading over to the kitchen with Chef Dumi as we're making a delicious rainbow wrap.